Hi everybody. I haven't done one of these vlog entries for a while, so I thought I'd do one just to update you on how things have been going with the X-T3 and a couple of other things. First off, I've acquired two new lenses, one that was supposed to be delivered today but apparently isn't going to be delivered until tomorrow, which is a bit irritating because I did say it was supposed to be delivered today. I even specified today. Never mind. So as I was saying, since my last vlog, I've gone up on the downs again, only this time I shot from this hill above something, so I could see all the way, because it was such a clear evening as well. It was right before dusk. I could see this Burning Gap, the Seven Sisters, Brighton I-360, Brighton Pier, Shoreham power station. I could see the huge hole that is the Shoreham Cement Works. I mean, that's massive. I didn't realise just how big it was. It's huge. If you've seen the photo, because I have posted the slide chart for this a couple of weeks ago, if you've seen the photo, you could see on the edge there's 4 power pylons, massive power cable pylons that go from end to end with 2 in between, and that's how wide into the downs the actual excavations have gone there over the centuries. In fact, I mean, since 17 something or other was when it was first used, well, first quarried, and it didn't close properly till 1991, and now it's just a derelict site that Dubman's sort of use about maybe 10%, if that, of the actual whole site, and that's literally just at ground level, well, building ground level, which is just below the level of the road. Apart from that, it's just sitting there, which is a real shame. Anyway, I'm digressing here. From this hill I could see that. I could also see the huge wind farm off the Lancing coast. I mean, I didn't realise just how big it is. I mean, I zoomed in with the lens that I've got, not this lens, not the 16-55, but one of the new ones, the one I've bought from eBay of all places. We'll discuss that in a minute about buying second hand. And you could see sort of in the foreground at the front this whole build up of buildings from where Lancing is, and then these huge, I mean, you have to look at the photo to just see how big they are. I mean, I know they're big, but I didn't realise they were that big. I mean, massive. Yes, so I could see all of that all the way off into the distance in the west as well, which surprised me a lot, actually. I mean, it was quite a clear evening. Anyway, I shot all of that on the 50-140 2.8 lens. Now, I bought that second hand, as I said, from a gentleman on eBay who basically used it for a wedding, and that was it. So I got it for about 300 quid less than I would have had to have paid for if I'd bought it off of, say, Amazon. So yeah, I got it for just under, even more than 300, I think. I got it for 920 quid, and it's light new. It's fantastic. Now, I was hoping to have the 80mm macro lens today. That's the lens I was talking about earlier that was supposed to be coming, but that that hasn't been delivered. I got a little message this morning from DPD saying, oh no, we can't deliver till tomorrow. So I don't know what's happened there. If the company that I've bought it from got it wrong and handed it over to them a day later than they should have, I'm going to have to send them an email about that and say, look, I specified the day being today, Saturday, and I get a message from DPD saying no, we'll be delivering it on Sunday, or expected delivery date Sunday, because they haven't even put it in a van, which is a bit irritating. So I got that a little bit out of the way. Oh yes, so I bought the 1.4 multiplier as well. All these lenses are weather sealed. I've got all 3 lenses that I have will be weather sealed, apart from the 16-55, which is the one I'm filming on. The other 2 are both have image stabilization built into the lenses, which is great, especially the macro lens. I was thinking about getting the 60mm macro lens, but it's not image stabilized, and I like shooting macros, but I don't want to have to crank up the ISO or the shutter speed. I like shallow depth of field, but I also like really strong depth of field as well. So yes. Now for the news. I applied for the Sky Arts Master of Photography. That closes on the 25th of November, so it's just over a week away now. So I finalised that last weekend. Submitted my images, filled out all the questions, did my little video on this, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be third time lucky this time that I'll actually get in. Even if I get to an interview, that'll be further than I got last time. I didn't even get an interview last time, which is a bit disappointing. So yes, there's that. Some of the portraits that I've taken over the years that part of make up my portrait portfolio, they're supposed to be going up on a fashion site on their Facebook and Instagram, but I've been emailing them for a week after sending them the pictures last week, and I'm getting nothing, so I might have to pick up the phone and actually phone them and say, you know, what's going on? I sent you all these images and they're not on your sites. Then nowhere to be seen. You know, you're not emailing me back. This is the thing with this with the modern world now. You can send an email and people can just ignore you, which is a bit irritating. Anyway, yes, one other thing. I'm doing a portraits sort of portfolio building shoot in a few weeks. I've got quite a few models and makeup artists interested in that. I've just got to find a studio that in Brighton that I can use in the first week of December. Now there are a few around. Some of them come with all the equipment as standard, so like, you know, the flashes, you know, studio lighting and all that. Some don't. I'm gonna have to see which ones are more available first, and then if it looks like the ones without the studio sort of equipment but have the space are going to be more available, then I might have to go on to eBay or Amazon and buy myself a couple of speed lights and a few modifiers to go with them, which fortunately I do have the money for it at the moment, fortunately. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, and like I said, second-hand equipment. Yes, let's go on to that. Yeah, second-hand equipment. I'm very savvy when it comes to buying second-hand camera equipment. I've never bought a dud when it comes to camera equipment. Don't ask me about cars though. That's another matter. I'm not very good with it when it comes to buying second-hand cars. I had a total dud with my Ford Focus. That was terrible. I spent God knows how much money on that. Now I've got a much better car. But yes, photographic equipment. So the X-T3 is new. The 16-55 lens on it is new. But and the microphone I'm recording this is new. There's a lot of good quality second-hand stuff out there though. If you're quite savvy about how you look for it, how you buy it, and don't go into the pitfalls that a lot of people I think do fall for, which is they see an item new that is just as cheap as say a second-hand item, so they decide to buy the new one, and they suddenly find out that it's been held in customs because it's come from bloody China or Hong Kong, you know, somewhere like that. So you've got to be really careful about that sort of thing. Now with like I said, my 50 to 140, I bought that second-hand on eBay, but I did look at the others that were on there, and if you get a listing where they just basically don't put anything on there, stock photo, steer well clear of that, well clear. Like I said, with one I bought, the person listing it, they said basically they bought it for a wedding and it's just been sitting in the cupboard, they haven't used it since then, so they've stuck it up for sale, you know, one great buy and all that, and I bought it, and through eBay. Don't do that. Oh, they send you a message saying, oh, you can buy it for less, you know, without me having to pay all the fees if you send me money. Don't fall for that. That's stupid. Just don't fall for it. Now in the macro lens, I bought that second hand as well, as good as new basically. a few £100 less than it would, well, more than a few £100 less than it would have cost me to buy it brand spanking new off of, say, Amazon or one of the other main camera dealers out here, which are like Park Cameras or Wex. So I bought that second hand, and through a site called mpb.com. Now, they're a Brighton-based company. They don't have a shop. They're basically a giant warehouse full of photography stuff. Now, I've sold some of my stuff to them before. In fact, I sold my previous 2 cameras to them, the XH1 and the X-T2. I bought the X-T2 for them as well, and before that a Canon A7, not A7, 5D SR. I bought it from them and sold it back to them, and a 5DS I bought and sold back to them as well. So they're quite a good company. You've seen them in all the photography magazines. There's always adverts for them. The best thing you should do if you're going to sell equipment to them is always give it a really good clean first, because they're really, really picky with that kind of thing, and I fell foul of that with one of my lenses. So yeah, and always read the listings very closely, because I was looking at the 1.4 multiplier for, well, to stick on my 150 to 140, and all the ones I had on there said speck of dust inside, speck of dust, speck of dust, speck of dust. And I went onto another website where it was second hand. Fortunately, there's a branch of Park Cameras up in Burgess Hill, which isn't too far away from me. It's only about a 20-minute drive, 20-minute, half an hour drive, and they had one there, and it was clear, clean, everything. So yeah, so I got it from them instead, and it was actually just as cheap as buying it from MPP. So there's a lot of different companies out there you can buy second-hand gear from. It's just, you've got to remember, read the listing properly all the way through, and if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is too good to be true, which is why I'm always a bit reticent about buying stuff off of eBay these days. You've seen the adverts with the guy who, I bought a 1DX Mark II, and look what I got, a brick. Literally, they send him a brick in a box, which is absolutely hilarious. But anyway, and then the guy sent it back, got his refund. Bought and was stupidly, how can you do this twice? Bought it again on Amazon. This is Amazon.com, not .co.uk, by the way. And this time, you got a whole load of bits of metal instead. So yeah, you got to be careful. Buying new isn't always the best thing, and buying cheap secondhand isn't always the best thing. But you just use your brain. Don't just think, oh, that's the cheapest one, I'll go for that, because it's not necessarily the best one to go for. Right then, I think that's pretty much an update for my vlog. Can I think of anything else? Oh yes, when I do get my lens tomorrow, hopefully it'll come in the morning and not the afternoon, because the whole weekend is going to be so nice and sunny. I will take it out, I'll take some shots, and then I will stick up another slideshow for you guys to have a look at on my channel. So fingers crossed, it should come tomorrow. And yeah, okay, that's it. Okay, bye.